You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Grey's Anatomy After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Grey's Anatomy After Show.
Nobody knows.
I don't like it when it's over.
Nobody knows.
I'm sad, I'm bam. Yes.
Are we ready, guys, too?
No. Oh, it's more like
Y'all sound so dumb. Bing is for doing, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the final episode of the Grey's Anatomy After Show here on AfterBuzz TV for season 9.
Season finale, not final episode.
Just for the season.
Season finale.
I just said all of those things. Women, it's because I'm one of the only dudes in here. You guys want to run all over me.
That's right. Women
I'm
rule
trying
the
to
world.
Instagram right
It's
now.
sexual.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, you guys, I'm Jason J. Carter.
Hi, I'm Julie Partin.
And I'm Starr Session.
I'm Kelly.
And tonight was the season finale of season 9. Wow, 9 seasons of Grey's, and it was a perfect storm.
Was it?
Well, first,
Be honest.
well, hold on. On our couch, we have our on-air legal guy, legal eagle, Mr. Jason Michael Romwell,
Woo!
Juris Doctor,
Welcome. Glad to join
AKA
us
Munchkin.
this evening.
Hello. Hey. So, okay, they said that in medicine, when everything goes wrong, it's called a perfect storm. And things just go wrong, one after the other, after the other, after the other. So tonight's episode is called Perfect Storm.
Mm-hmm.
And for a finale, Grey's is hit or miss with finales. I'm sorry.
What?
And tonight's finale was on a scale of 1 to 10. And I'm sorry, AfterBuzz, you know I'm an avid Grey's fan, but it was probably a 7 for me.
But the thing about it is, like, they don't have to have a big catastrophe every single time.
Right, I understand that, but it's not about the catastrophe though. It's about what the content that we're watching and the emotion and the drama that's playing out in any situation. Okay, let's get into it.
Okay, I disagree. Let's just go into that. How about that? I think that when it comes down to the finale, like, it just wrapped up the stories into a bow and it kind of left us wanting more. Like, I want to know what's going to happen with Callie. I want to know what's going to happen with the marriage. I want to know what's going to happen with a lot of different things.
I agree. But the thing is, Starr, is the way they executed those storylines wasn't they kind of dropped the ball. They had opportunities to really have us go no.
Well, that was last week, and I feel like last week was really action-packed and on the edge of our seat, and some of our viewers were even tweeting that they were pacing while watching the show. I mean, it kind of, last week was definitely more action-packed, and this week just kind of tied it up into a bow. You know, I love tying things up into a bow. Just nice and beautiful, and yeah, let's start from the beginning.
I think it's that we expect so much from these season finales from Grey's. Like, we want to be on the ground, shocked out of our minds every single time.
And we clearly want someone to die. That's
Right.
what we've been begging.
not that we want it. We expect it, though. So every time we think somebody
We've been
died and
groomed
they didn't,
to want these things, these
was
elements.
Like, oh, tricked us again. Oh, tricked us again. Like,
Right.
like, why were we wanting them to die so bad? I think it's just something we become accustomed to.
There's only
But
one.
it's always the same people that are going to die.
Wow, Kelly.
Yeah, why,
It's always
Meredith?
the same people that their life is in jeopardy. And I like that this episode didn't have that death, that particular death, because it's like, how many times? I mean, on one hand, it's like, okay, die already, because you've been in jeopardy so many times.
Interns.
It's like Final Destination, right?
Meredith is the final destination queen.
Yes.
She should have been gone.
She's like dodging
like a
it.
cat.
She's like, look, I
She's
got death.
9 seasons of lives in her.
She's like
I
Instagramming
know. So
death.
is the next one it?
Oh, no.
There's only 9.
That's true.
Honestly, it would be poetic at this time. She
Right.
has averted it
No,
so many different ways.
I personally, if they kill her, I will hate this show because
well, they can't kill her. Hello, they can't kill her. Her name is Grey's Anatomy.
She's on the the front door of
but
the
now
freaking.
but now they can live on because now it's the name of the hospital.
Right. It's
so they don't need her.
Gotcha.
I guess it's that we're just not scared. You could literally do anything to Meredith and we wouldn't be scared that she was going to die anymore.
Not true.
Fell for that one too many times.
Let's
start from the top. Let's dissect it.
Yeah, let's dissect this because first of all, it's a perfect storm. I've seen storms worse in LA than the storm they experienced in Seattle.
Well, we didn't get really into the storm,
right?
Really,
but
they didn't really show it that much.
A tree fell through a window.
And lights went out. And
I'm from New Mexico. Trees fall through windows all the time. That's
I'm
nothing.
from Oklahoma. And houses pick up themselves and travel.
pick themselves
up. Texas. There were 3 tornadoes and just didn't around my home.
He's from Idaho. They have potatoes there. I mean,
it's tragic.
So bottom line is we know storms, and so just because we didn't really get to see kind of the natural disaster, so we don't really know.
Use your imagination.
From the outside.
Well, we had to.
Yeah.
We had to.
Not like we needed to see it, but most of the drama about this superstorm centered around a hospital having to operate in the dark without electricity.
Right. And I was actually a little bit kind of depressed that Joe didn't have a tree trim limb sticking out of her.
Yeah, nothing.
Nothing.
She did decide to walk around with a full-on black eye.
And now,
let's
be realistic. If any of us had a black eye, we would try to conceal it or put something over it.
Powder,
she was like, I'm bold.
Anything.
Well, but listen, have you guys ever had a black eye before or a hickey? You put makeup on it and it makes that stuff worse.
Ew,
yes and yes.
Kelly.
No.
Whoa. Yes and yes.
But makeup does not make it better. It just makes that crap worse.
A little better.
Well, we'll touch on Joe in a minute. Let's talk about Meredith's baby and the whole C-section and everything that has to go into that.
Well, the deal is it starts off with, what's her name?
Christina
and Derek running in slow motion,
Matrix running down the hall in the dark.
I absolutely love that.
I like how they swoop in. It's like that. They come around the bend. And
just around the river bend.
It's worse than freaking Tom Cruise in Oblivion running. It was just really, really bad.
I loved it. The hair was wafting in the wind.
Yang was outrunning Derek. She was like, "Yo, pick up the pace, homie."
She's like, "You're just
but then his eyes are sticking out of his head, and he's got this crazy look on his face.
I would have loved to see him film that, rehearse that, because they have to run. And so when you run in slow mo, they have to run faster to slow them down. Believe it or not.
Yeah.
So it's wow, they probably were done for the day, cardio down. And Yang was just like.
Can you imagine having to run so fast and try to keep your face?
That's true acting, Emmy.
Yeah.
I run like that at the gym. Yeah, at the gym, I'm like, yes, I'm working.
Man, I don't run at the gym. I walk. You can burn as many calories walking, and you look so much better.
Oh, true.
But we knew from last week that Meredith was going to have this baby during the superstorm with the lights out. Mm-hmm. And we see the nurse from ER. I think that's where we agreed to.
Marcia Gay Harding.
No, definitely not. That is not her name. That's a completely different lady.
No. IMDb real quick. But yes.
The pretty nurse, or the pretty obstetrician. That's what it was.
Okay.
And she says that she feels the baby's face, which we had a big conversation why is that a problem? Turns out it really is. It's called face presentation, and it's really dangerous for a baby.
Yeah, usually the baby's supposed to come out with its head first, but not with its face first. So that was kind of obstructing its neck, I believe, which could have
strained its neck and be fatal.
Exactly. So everyone watched the show; they know about that. So they decided to go for the C-section, which Meredith was like, "I'm not doing it. I did not plan this. I do not want this." And in the end, the doctor was like, "Pull it together. This is what you're going to have to do, or you're both going to die."
It was very Addison. She's like the Black Addison.
Yeah, she just told it like it was. I loved it.
Addison.
And then what did she say? She was like, either shut up or sit down, or I don't know. She was,
well, no, because Derek was like, don't mess this up. And she's like, sit down, please.
Sit down, Dr. Weber.
She's like, you can build a seat and have it.
She said, sit, yeah, okay.
Well, okay, the Meredith, that was kind of predictable. I knew the baby was going to be in some kind of distress, and Meredith was going to go there. But what was more, I guess, freaky to see was that after the baby had been born and
you didn't really cry for a moment.
Typical baby doesn't cry. My baby, why isn't it crying? Why isn't it crying?
That would be kind of scary though, because he was quiet for a minute is a long time when you're waiting.
Smack that baby.
Right. I mean, is that what they do?
Smack that all on the floor.
Smack that.
Guys, I don't think that's appropriate, really.
Okay, sorry.
But Meredith is bleeding out.
Yeah, so that came out of nowhere.
Well, we kind of knew that the fall wasn't just going to be the fall and then the baby. We kind of knew that there was going to be a little bit of a connection there.
I thought the fall was just for early labor.
Right.
I thought that was done.
Like, how would that cause a ruptured spleen? I have fallen many a times in my life, and I've never had a ruptured spleen before.
Well,
I
you didn't have
wonder
a
if it
baby
was-
and down the
yeah.
stairs, and
What if like like because when she fell and she hit, like
baby
the
hit its
baby
head?
pushed something, pushed against it, or it was extra pressure, or could have,
yeah, I agree.
And she said that she was in labor, so she couldn't feel that pain. And then all of a sudden, when the baby was born, now you have the secondary pain that was probably going on the whole time.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
could've
Well,
probably caused
at
a
that point she was numb already from the C-section, so
Right.
she still couldn't feel it. She just starts bleeding out.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's crazy. And she calls it, and she's like, "Dr. Ross, I love your enthusiasm," because he's like, "Mousy, I have got this surgery. Don't you be cutting
are
it on another
neuro."
surgery on me again." And then she was like, "I like that enthusiasm," which I love that he stepped up. But then when she started bleeding out, he was like, "I don't want to step up anymore."
And
Yeah.
So I'm like, "Pull it together."
Yeah, Meredith dictated her own surgery, which was disgusting. It made my stomach hurt for some reason.
I thought that was actually pretty badass, to be
Yeah,
honest. I
hello.
mean, because you literally are on death's door, and you have to keep your mind straight while she's passing out because she's bleeding out, and still has to guide this kid
Right.
that's been basically doing paperwork with Bailey for the last few days
Right.
to, save her life
In the dark.
stay calm about it. And I thought she was pretty awesome. And I thought that was a pivotal moment to watch that. And there were a lot of those for me in this episode, even though it wasn't crazy dramatic as far as like action packed. There were a lot of emotionally dramatic moments.
I agree. And what was really nice was, I'm sorry, Starr, what was really nice was hearing her, tell Bailey, do not let me be a vegetable. Do not
Why was
resuscitate
that
me.
nice?
Well, because getting back,
Well, no, she
touching on.
was telling Ross that.
Right, I'm sorry, Ross.
Yeah.
I do apologize. Touching on what you're saying about moments, in her being brave and her really owning, her life and taking responsibility for what's about to happen to her. Because most people I know personally, I like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. Save me. But Meredith was like, if I die, do not let me, or if I don't come out of this right, don't let me be a vegetable. I love Christina. I love my Bailey. I love my baby. I love Derek.
I love my Bailey.
You know what I mean? And that was cool. And I think that harkens back to Meredith. Like they said, she has been held at gunpoint. She's drowned. She had her head in a bomb. Her mom had Alzheimer's. She's been through it. She's like, look, I'm done. You can put a
Well, and I
call
think
it a day.
too, she knows what she went through with her mom,
Right.
and not being able to communicate with her and all of that, and she doesn't want to put her family through that because she knows what that feels like, and
Right.
that's terrible. And it's one of those hard choices. Do you stay alive so your family doesn't lose you, even though you're kind of checked out mentally, just to physically be there, or do you kind of in a little bit of a selfish way, depending on how you look at it, just say, I'm done.
Well, I mean, we definitely talked about this a few episodes back when she was going over her will, and she decided that, she doesn't want to be a vegetable. But when it comes down to it, it's kind of annoying because the show's name is Grey's Anatomy. So every time she goes through these 9 lives moments, I'm like, she's gonna survive. I'm not on the edge of my seat so much about it
Right.
anymore.
Also, I
predictable.
realized why I hate it. For all of you people who've watched all of Shonda's shows, they had this exact same scenario in Private Practice.
Right.
When the psycho Katie was cutting into the doctor's stomach, and she dictated the C-section for her. So I think that's what it reminded me of.
Me too. This is very recycled. Legal Eagle on the couch. Jason Romwell. Quick question. If Meredith didn't sign a DNR, but she told the doctor to not resuscitate her, and the doctor did resuscitate her, could she sue the hospital?
Not if she was a vegetable, she couldn't.
Well, her estate possibly could, but but the question would be: is a verbal DNR legit?
Right.
Probably not.
Because
it would have to be
especially
in
because she
writing.
had some kind of medication in her, so could they?
She was
They could
dry, she
argue
didn't have
she
capacity.
wasn't right,
Yeah.
not in her
All
right
sorts
mind.
of issues.
I will say, were you gonna say something?
That's the issue though with planning, having your will, having your living will in place. Being on the table, bleeding out, and telling the intern what to do, that's not the time to figure out your legal issues.
That's what it's called forest lawn and plan for your afterlife.
I do think that this really made it come full circle. The entire season, we've seen the theme of the doctors teaching the interns, and the interns becoming the doctors in their own right. And this was really full circle. Like the things that he had learned from the doctor were helping him save her life.
Yeah,
So
but
I
he
see
kind
that
of like
wrapping
wussed
up.
out toward the end.
Yeah,
so
he freaked out.
He didn't really
'Cause Bailey
take
had to
charge. He
save him,
couldn't
yeah.
do it.
Either way,
He stood there.
it was his hands that saved her life.
No, I don't agree with that because he kind of gave up, and when Bailey comes in, he's like standing there and he's not doing anything.
He's like, I don't know where the bleeding's coming from.
She would have died if he didn't do some stuff.
Well,
But he only did, he only did what she dictated. He didn't take it a step further. He didn't try to look for it himself.
He didn't own it.
He didn't try to do like deductive reasoning and figure this out. He went to med school. I mean, he could have tried something and he didn't. He stopped.
I went to med school when it comes to like watching Grey's Anatomy. That was my med school. And I know you've got to just continue finding where the leak is coming from. You keep looking for the leak and you try to like patch it up.
And I feel like he gave up. I did everything she said. Now I don't know what to do.
Yeah, it's
use
like
your brain.
Yeah.
You made it this far. You're kind of smart.
True.
Obviously.
If it was intern Yang, she would have kept looking.
Right.
At the same time,
or intern Mousy.
I'm not hating on Shane. I feel like he did step up, save the life in a way until Bailey could come in and have her grandiose give me 6 dozen gloves on each hand moment.
I don't know, I guess. I just feel like he stepped up to kind of like take the credit for a surgery that was already done just to suture her back, but that's it. All he needed to do originally was to sew her back up, and then there's a lot of bleeding and he can't figure it out and doesn't say anything. And
yeah, that's true. He did just kind of stand around.
Like, that's all. I don't feel like
there's so much throwing away.
It's true.
Because even when Meredith was, even when she stuck her hand in the, in the ball, like she was still like pretty new at that point for her to do that, and they just kind of went that extra mile that I don't feel these new interns are necessarily doing.
They're not.
Mousy, I think Mousy would have stepped up, or Joe.
We saw Joe.
Mousy would have stepped up if she would have actually continued that surgery, if they would have wrote that storyline. Just saying.
I mean, yeah, she may have. Because she did when Derek had to go out and she finished that surgery. So we've seen her do that.
I would love to see her run in slow-mo. So we go across the hallway to the sleeping rooms for the surgeons, and we see Arizona getting dressed after a hot, steamy sex session with Lauren.
Terrible.
So much for those people that thought, well, maybe they just made out.
No, there was definitely bedhead involved, and that does
Peyton
not
causes havoc no matter what town she's in.
And I hate the cover over the breast. Like, me? What? Me? Oh, what did we just do? I feel so naked.
Well, Arizona's got a sports bra.
And she's screwing on her leg.
Oh, low blow, low blow.
She said it last week.
Stop it right now.
Does she have to take it off while she's...
I mean...
We don't know.
Okay.
She played that Kesha song, Take It Off.
Take it off. Yes.
But the thing about Arizona that was really disturbing, though, was how she turned cold afterwards. And I can imagine...
That's natural.
That is absolutely natural. You want to forget that happened and get out of that room.
Because it's exciting while it's happening, but then it's like, wait, what did I just do?
It's like when the sun comes up, you don't want to be anywhere near it.
Okay.
If this Arizona character isn't completely different than the one that we were introduced to when she first came on the show.
Right?
Oh, absolutely.
It's so weird. She does not even resemble that Pete's doctor that wore fun bandanas and roller skates.
But what's even more
I forgot about the roller skates.
Is Lauren.
The wheelies.
The Willies. What is Peyton? We can't call her Peyton. Lauren.
Her name is Peyton.
Lauren. How she's so cavalier and nonchalant about, I just, I knew you were married. Yeah.
No, she's like,
really
I like you. I'm not going to leave it. Yes.
Yeah. Single white female.
Right? Home wrecker.
Times
10.
Lint liquor.
That has been in my head all week. That has been in my head all week. Oh my gosh.
It's like next she's going to be like stewing a bunny, like, I love you.
Lint liquor.
How did she not realize that ring was pinned to the front of those scrubs?
Do you think it was intentional?
I think it was absolutely.
Do you think it was intentional?
That's weight. You can feel that.
No.
You can when there's a safety pin on your shirt.
Well, she had
hanging
the
off
thing over, and she's worrying about kids, and things are just happening. It could have been a pin. It could have been a pin.
No.
I don't think it was intentional, but they have never, the entire history of the show, had rings pinned to their
clothes. Yeah.
They made it seem like they've always done that the entire time.
Exactly.
They could have. We just didn't know it.
Yeah, because when Callie said it at the beginning, like, just pin it to your thing. I thought, like, girl, what's her name? Redhead that got married to Matthews. April. She's not married yet. I thought April was going to lose the ring. I thought that's why she said that. I thought that's why that moment happened. I thought she was going to lose the ring, or Matthew was going to be upset that she wasn't wearing the ring. I thought that storyline was going to go that way. I had no idea that it was like, my wife does it too.
Well, online, they really talked heavily about how clever, that was one of the clever moments of tonight, because I was even like, Oh, and then the music that played, it was like, you got caught.
But you gotta think about Lauren's mentality though. She had a story and fives, like she's used to this kind of stuff. She has a history of home wrecking. She was so quick on that. But that's why I think that it was intentional, because if you have anything on you, even if it's a loose strand of hair, you can feel it on your arm. And if she's running around and she's kind of like hand resuscitating these kids, like she's moving around.
She can feel jiggly.
That ring is going to be like moving around.
I don't think it was intentional.
I don't know. I absolutely think
the power was
when
out.
people are scandalous, they do some scandalous
They're like,
things.
ooh,
Like
she's
very
good.
subtle, passive-aggressive
Maybe
things.
next season they'll have the flashback of her being like, oh, it's there. And then like opening the coat and maybe it'll like reveal it. Like maybe she was being scandalous.
Like Janet's Super Bowl.
Well, here's another thing that I thought was funny is that if you remember, every time she came into the group to talk to them, she was wrapped up. Every single time, except when Kellie came, and then all of a sudden her little jacket's open.
Bosoms were out.
Whether that was intentional or not, this character sucks. She is so
I
evil.
like her.
I hope she comes back though.
She's coming back.
I hope she comes back. I like her. She's very lovable. She's like lovable as a person on the show, but her intentions are sick.
I don't think she's
her
lovable
intentions
at
are not
all.
good.
Well, I think this is absolutely that storyline with Mark and Addison and Derek.
Sure. Just now, lesbians.
Mm-hmm.
AfterBuzz, go to iTunes, rate us, leave us comments, tell us what you think. Do you think Lauren was actually scandalous and purposely planted the ring on her boobie for Kellie to see? Hey, who knows? Leave us 5 stars. We'd love to hear from you. We'll even give you a shout out on the show, because that's how we roll here at the Grey's Anatomy After Show. And there you go. So, I personally feel that Lauren intentionally did it, but I'm more than willing to give her the benefit of the doubt because it was dark.
Right.
Things happen in the dark.
But it wasn't dark the entire time. At some point, she saw that.
The thing is, though, okay, guys, but really, like,
dramatic.
You know, I know we find out at the end of the episode a little bit why Arizona might have done that, but let's strip it away and really think, why would Arizona do that to Kellie? Like,
that moment was for her to feel sexual, #sexual. We're using that tonight because there's a lot of moments like that. She wanted to feel sexual and beautiful, and she's just, it's kind of like her little moment of like, I'm beautiful again. And yes, I lost my leg, but I have someone that's actually interested in me. That was her moment of weakness.
But like Arizona cannot let the leg thing go.
She can't.
I was shocked they went there again, and I think that Callie's character was too, and I just was so disappointed that it all came back to the plane crash again.
Yeah, well, she can't give it up. I mean, but it's something huge. There's no way in a year that you can forget about something that tragic that happened to you.
9 months later, almost, you know.
You know what I mean? So I understand that, but it's just like bringing it up in a fight where it's like she was basically saying that Kellie had no right to act like she cared. You know what I mean? Like she was like, you shouldn't care because you weren't in the crash, and that's not right in that fight.
They were having a conversation about her cheating on her spouse, and she brings up the leg again.
Yeah, and the plane crash.
Yeah, it was out of place. They weren't even talking about it. It's like she doesn't let Kellie have any moments of being nice because of the leg thing.
Yeah, and she's been nice for a whole year now.
I don't think what she meant was that she's not allowed to feel bad. I think that she feels that Kellie expresses herself like she was part of that whole situation physically.
Right. Maybe
and she wasn't, and she physically wasn't. That's the point. And that's exactly the argument that they're having, is that yes, every emotion that happened, Kellie felt it too, because she had 2 people that she could have lost there. And yes, Arizona was on the plane, she lost her leg, but that's all she would have lost. That's all she lost in the end. If it had turned out differently, Kellie would have lost 2 people. So it would have been a little bit different, but she won't see the other side of the coin.
She won't see the other side of the coin. I'm going to let you speak in a minute. But she did go through the moment of, like, the plane didn't land. She had to mourn this whole thing her own self. You know, the plane didn't land. Where's the plane? Where's my wife? Where's my baby daddy? You know, Arizona is not allowing Kellie to feel, you know, and even though she should have all this emotion because she did go through this traumatic experience on the other end. You know, when a family member gets hurt, I feel like I got hurt. So why can't she allow that to happen first?
At the same time, this conversation was not about that. It was about the fact that she cheated.
And
but it goes to the bigger issue of why she would have done that, though.
Let Jason speak.
No, you guys are definitely making valid points. The thing is, going back to recurring themes in Grey's, Arizona, or recurring instances of this type of thing on Grey's, Arizona has always been selfish with Kellie because when she went to Africa,
time.
you know, Kellie had to mourn her going to Africa. That's when she got pregnant with Mark. And then Arizona got pissed at her for getting pregnant by Mark. It's like, Arizona, you're getting your cake. Very selfish. And you're right. She's not the same girl we grew to love when she first kissed Kellie in the bathroom at Joe's 4 seasons ago. It's like she's a totally different person, and her character has gone through this downward spiral.
Of annoyance.
I don't even care if she helps the tiny humans. She's probably like one of the villains, so to speak, on the show right now.
But I don't think she's really changed that much. I think from the beginning she was always selfish, and that was one of the things that everybody was annoyed about her. Because yes, she was sunny and cheery and all about the kids or whatever, but she never really was part of the team until she got with Kellie, and even with the things with Alex and everything that they went through, and she didn't really want to help him. And even when she came back after the trauma, you know, she and Alex had formed that she was teaching him and all of that, and she dismissed him, and she's always been a selfish character.
Yeah. But it was interesting that she opened up when she was looking for the batteries because she was too busy having the fling with this lady that she didn't even stock up for the storm, which everyone else was doing in the previous episode. She didn't have any batteries, but in that moment,
why she didn't have batteries?
Probably.
Yeah, that's what she said.
She just didn't think of it.
She was bumping uglies.
She probably didn't think of it, and it wasn't something that was on her mind because she's so like wrapped up of like looking across the table with the googly eyes.
But remember, Owen was making sure everybody was thinking about it. So
right?
Her mind just was on
somewhere else.
Lauren.
Exactly. But it was interesting that she opened up to Karev at that moment about like she just like blurted it out like I cheated on my wife.
Karev didn't act at all in any way surprised.
Because he was going through his own mess.
He should have still been like, whoa, any
well, you gotta think though, in his life,
he's selfish too.
But and also in his reality, that's kind of things that happen.
That's normal.
It's normal.
That's a normal day at work.
He's like, yeah, well, I love someone and I won't tell him. Like that's equal.
Well, he won't tell her because he's messed them all up, is what he thinks. You know, like
crazy and cancery and
cancery. That one was good.
Alzheimer-y. All these words. No, you know, my Alzheimer-y brain. I'm just saying, like, you know, the names that they come up with. So let's move outside of the hospital now.
Move on.
You know, it's raining. Everyone's in the foyer of Grainsville Memorial West, or I don't. You know, honestly, this is Mercy West. Let's keep it real. There's all these new renamings.
We can call it Mercy West for this episode. That's fine.
Kiss my ass. And then all of a sudden we see a bus that's just like.
I told you it was a bus and not an ambulance.
I thought
church
it was
bus.
an ambulance.
It was a church bus.
Of course, it's a church bus.
It was a church bus.
No.
It was an LDS church bus.
It was a church bus. It
said church. It said church. To be LDS.
It said church on it, and then they said they were on their way to the church.
Got it.
Either way, right outside of the hospital.
Isn't that like a parking lot?
Right? It's not the street. It shouldn't be the
same
street.
car every time they show the parking lot.
Maybe they were coming from the church to go get safety at the hospital, maybe.
Whatever.
Okay. Going that fast in the parking lot. I'm sure there's speed bumps.
In a storm.
They probably just took the turn a little too fast, and that's it.
And it skidded out with the water.
Because every time they show the parking lot, it's the same car driving. The parking lot shot, it's the same car. So I'm thinking that's the parking lot that they're doing 55 miles an hour in. So
a big bus.
Blue bus.
Oh my gosh. No, when that bus hit, I was just like, well, not many people can be injured. That just kind of tipped over. Like, you know, immediately that's what I thought. And then it was like this weak flame that was like, poof. I was like, that's
I've had fireworks do more damage than that.
Right? I was like, that's not even obnoxious at all.
And that's what I'm talking about tonight with the finale. There were certain parts of the finale that were just like they could have done without.
It should have been like boom, boom.
I mean, people should have people should have flew out. Should have flew out of the bus.
Exactly.
Like
that's what
mangled, like just like, you know, like Final Destination.
It wasn't even
like,
that dramatic.
No, it was horrible.
I want more drama.
I feel like they could have done away with a lot of the elements that they were trying to build emotion behind and really get to the core of the story and have an emotional finale.
Well, they were building for this explosion that we've heard for like weeks now, and or was the explosion the other explosion? I don't know. Both of these explosions were weak.
Right.
But I think you touched on a point. They have been building up to the emotional, relational moments that we have for at least half the season, if not longer.
And it's true. Many of our fans are tweeting that this is like the season of emotions.
Right.
Yeah. But seriously, they could have had a little more fire along with the emotions.
So do we all think that, and I know I'm kind of jumping ahead a little bit, but do we all think that Dr. Rubber is alive? I think a lot of people are tweeting. Well, a lot of people are
jumping ahead.
Well, everybody's tweeting that
It's
yay,
true.
nobody died. So I mean, is that the consensus?
No one
Is that
died
what
yet, but he might die in complications in the beginning of
Right,
next
they
week.
always
Yeah.
have
next
that.
episode.
Let's give a
Next
couple
week.
shout outs real quick to Kyle White, Alicia Harding,
It's Kyle White.
Sanja Bumbar, and who else? We have so many wonderful people that talked to us all day. Brianna Gurley.
Did you do Alyssa?
Alyssa for sure. Ian Armstrong, thank you.
Sanja.
I love
Bumbar.
Jolex, Nikki, so many cool people that always tweet. Candace Thurman.
Beatrice.
Jack Sutt.
Yeah, these are like avid.
Autumn.
Now,
Janet
literally,
Jackson.
no, we have some great Twitter followers. Like today was just like tweet, 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 tweet,
I
tweet,
know. I was
tweet,
like,
tweet,
you
tweet,
guys,
tweet.
stop it. We're not watching it yet.
It was good all day when we were all like into it and like figuring out what's gonna happen tonight. But once East Coast started airing, I was like, I have to turn my phone off because
I
people are
know.
spoiling things.
Well,
Sassy Pants Pompeo fan.
Yeah, so
Oh,
many,
yeah, it's so many great
Christina
people.
and Owen. That was okay. That was another thing that they reached far back to get and bring up.
Bring it back again.
Was about him being mad about her having an abortion, not having a kid, and their relationship being over. All season, I have been crowing down. I have been like, yes, crowing. You guys got divorced. You guys are doing it. It's
Crowing
great.
down, okay.
I
I'm not
still don't
with
think
you.
it's over.
Really?
No, it's not over.
The way it has to be, because
No.
if she walks out again in tears, she's an ugly crier. If she walks out again in tears, it's gonna be like cried wolf.
They
I
really
don't
have
know.
breaking up every other
I know,
episode. It
but the
seems
way
like.
she looked at Meredith and Derek with the 2 kids, I don't know.
I think she
How-
was looking like it's good on the outside looking in, but really I don't want it.
How
Right.
unceremoniously did that little kid leave?
I know.
Just gone.
And-
he
I thought
didn't
that
die in the ambulance or anything.
In the helicopter, I thought something was gonna explode,
yeah,
like there was
it's
gonna
gonna
be
go
like
down.
a
Can't
lightning.
you come with me? No. No.
Yeah.
Crying grandma, she disappeared.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know, we didn't even see her.
just
guys.
add water and she's got her there.
Because she's already crying. So ridiculous.
But
No,
you know-
I think Owen, when it comes down to it, he wants that child. He's probably still going to adopt that child. And I think that storyline might continue on.
I want Christina and Owen to just be done and have them have their own life. Owen needs his own.
It will happen next season.
His own storyline that really puts him in danger, that puts him in more emotion, because he's always with someone. He's always having drama with somebody. He choked out Christina because he had PTSD. He's mad at Christina because she had an abortion. Owen, get your own drama. Let's have you have
His own
like
drama.
liver cancer
He
or.
did cheat on her. That was his own.
But that was
created
with
drama.
her. I'm saying like Owen needs to have his own where he's kidnapped. Someone runs him over with a car.
Oh my God.
Well, I'm saying because like I want him to. I want his life to
Drama
develop.
has to kind of focus on someone other than Meredith. Like, it has to go somewhere else.
But she's been doing
So-
good. She's had a
It has
great year.
focused on other
I know.
places, like
Well,
the
kind
thing-
of.
I would love to see Christina dating again, and somebody besides him or her other boss at the other place, who really was just a way of getting back at Owen.
Legally, what do you think?
She shouldn't date.
Why not?
It's not right. It never ends.
No, she
never
doesn't
ends well.
want to
It's
share
not
her
fair.
life with
Be celibate,
anybody.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Celibate.
She wants a casual
She can
relationship.
focus on surgery.
She wants
That's what
jump
she
off.
does.
She just wants to hit and split and go back to the
Fine,
OR.
I would be happy with seeing Christina try to be celibate.
Surgery
Anything but
quickie,
this
surgery
Owen
quickie.
thing.
Booty booze.
This
Booty booze.
Owen Christina thing.
It's done. And I was team Owen. I was team Crowan the whole season. But you know it is what it is. Jackson in April. So tonight, Matt.
Matt shows
Matt
back up.
didn't die.
You were so adamant about Matt dying.
Everybody thought he was gonna die.
I thought he was gonna
wasn't
die.
The only one.
Those teeth.
One of our producers came in and said, "Did that Matt guy die yet?" Oh, he said, "Did the Matt guy die?" And I'm like, "Not yet." I thought it was coming. Still, I thought it was gonna come back.
Well, he kind of emotionally
died.
He had an emotional
Maybe.
death.
I don't know. I
Yeah.
feel like he fully grasped
Oh, I
it.
think he did.
Oh.
I don't think he
I
did.
think he did.
So, yeah.
I don't think he put. I
Jackson-
don't think he put 2 and 2 together and mentally broke up.
Oh,
with
yes,
April.
he totally did.
He's a paramedic. He's
He
smart.
shows back up and he's
Maybe
going to.
he's seeing it, but I don't think that means they're necessarily over for good.
Oh,
in
no.
his
I don't think
mind.
he knows, like, oh, they've had sex together, but oh, clearly there's something there, and that the way she reacted towards him was not of like a brother sister. It was of like, if I lose this person,
I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
think
die.
he totally got it. I think when
I
he
think so,
saw
too.
her
Yeah.
freaking out outside, because he was standing right next to her when she was freaking out outside, and then when Jackson came with the kid
Oh my
and
gosh.
walked right past her.
Hashtag sexual. This is another moment where he sexually walked out from the fire like a fireman
Yes,
holding that
he
child.
did.
He didn't even look April in the eye. And he was just like
walks
another
right
slow-mo
past her.
moment. Oh my god.
And let's talk about the most annoying part of the entire evening. That girl not getting out from under a burning,
dang kid.
exploding bus. Come on, Evie. I'll race you, Evie.
Let's go find your mommy, Evie. And Evie's like,
Anything.
Evie's like, it's exploding, and now I want to run.
She's like,
Grab that
nah.
dang Evie's pink shoe and pull her
I
out
know.
of
She's
it.
like, it's warm in here.
Blink, blink.
She's like, it's nice and toasty in the blowing up bus. I'm gonna kick you. I'm gonna kick you right here. But again, the bus blows up.
Weak. It was a
Weak.
weak explosion.
It was only on one side.
yeah.
So bad.
No, yeah, I mean,
It didn't like blow up into pieces, and there wasn't debris. Oh, that this is what I want.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Starry
My 10th grade science project was way more on fire
Right.
than that thing,
Exactly.
you know? And,
Oh my
Jackson's a
gosh.
hot piece, so you're like, damn.
Especially when they had to work on him and he took his
Seriously.
shirt off. He has been in the gym.
That's what she was gonna miss. She didn't like him. She's like the
Okay.
goodies in the jar. That's all she wanted. She's like,
Right.
damn, that's a hot piece of ass that's getting fried in that bus.
And right? And he was like, well, you're getting married. You're going to marry. And she's like, I want you.
like,
and he's like,
Give me a reason not
give
to.
me a reason not to.
How many movies and how many shows have we heard that? Give me a reason to stay. Give me a reason.
I already know the reason. Just go ahead and jump on him like you want to do, right?
Everybody
I'm
was
sorry,
thinking
but
that.
I'm going to go back to even when the lovely, lovely Sarah Drew was here, and that same question that everybody was so mad at me for when we were talking about, but I still think she is April is too freaking selfish. Again,
She's another selfish
it
one?
wasn't about him and her. I'll marry him unless you tell me I shouldn't. It's not that I love you, I want to be with you, I'm ending this because I want to be with you. If you turn me down, I'm going to him.
Right. Having
And
a thing.
that is such a
Nice.
backhanded kind of thing,
That is
and I
true.
hate that.
I didn't think about that. You go, girl. I wasn't even there. I like
At the
that.
same time,
Me neither.
when there was this much of a chance that we lost Avery, my heart sunk. I realized I want him to die less than any character on the show, probably.
I thought we were gonna lose Owen.
Well, the fact
Yeah,
that we didn't
that
even
would've been good.
put
That
him
would've
in
been
harm's
okay.
way.
right. And
We
Owen
thought
didn't
he was
blink.
going to be the one saving somebody or to get saved or something.
Oh, still, I'm glad Avery's okay.
No, absolutely.
With you right there.
Wow.
I'm glad
I
that
love
whole.
him. I want him to do well.
Okay.
Well,
I
he
do.
owns awesome.
I just want him to be around.
It doesn't have to say much. Just give me the eyes one good time under the mask.
Legally,
Not the eyes you
Avery,
want.
are you an Avery fan?
No comment.
No comment.
I think you put him in a spot.
I mean,
Are you a
Avery?
are you a
J-Bro.
J-Bro fan?
No.
No.
She's great. I saw her when she was on your show before, sweet girl, but that character just too damn whiny.
It's annoying, right?
Seriously, and that give me a reason that's so cliche.
I agree. I agree.
That was
And
the
I-
biggest disappointment.
Right?
Yeah.
And the running,
Uh-huh.
that was kind of a disappointment too.
You know what? Okay, yes, that was a selfish move, but at the same time, a lot of girls in that situation would feel the same way. Like,
really?
I got this hottie that loves me. I love you. What
But
do you
that's-
think?
but if
No?
that-
Okay, I got this.
But
guy.
if that's true,
Right?
that's really sad because
Right.
it's not their own decision. I feel like it is because you're not being true to yourself. So they're both good looking and they're both this and that, but what you're not going with what you feel. You just don't want to be alone that bad. You're just going to be with whoever will take you. I think that sucks.
It's a little bit of a, Bella, Jacob, Edward. We want the love triangle thing. At the
Always
same
go
time,
for the sexual
I'm not
guy,
as
not
bad.
Why am I
everyone.
always comparing this to Twilight?
I don't know, guys. It just it's the love triangle thing. Okay, you want to hear another one? Katniss, Peeta.
Yes.
It goes on and on and on. It's a love triangle. All the girls want to be at the middle of it.
I
You can't
love
hate
being
on
in the
April
middle.
for wanting this
Who
to
else wants
prolong.
me? Who else wants me?
But the difference about it is even as silly as with the Twilight reference, she goes with the one she's in love with. She doesn't just settle for she won't even kind of go there. That's the difference. She's going where her heart says. And with April, she's not. She thinks that she is, but she knows she's truly in love with Jackson, and she won't go there because for whatever reason, she's always, I can't do this, it's wrong, I can't. She always has all these crazy excuses, and it's so unfortunate because I think he really does love her, but she doesn't get it.
This is the same story over and over
It
again.
is.
I am getting over it. She needs to decide and move on, and I think Avery needs to decide. But he kind of already did.
He
I don't know.
already
I'm
did.
over
He
this
already
story.
told her no.
Right. He was
He
like,
already turned her
Right?
down. Yeah,
Right?
when she asked him to go out for a drink, he
But now
turned
when
her
life
down.
is threatening, it's like, what is he
I
going to
don't-
do
yeah,
now?
one of
you
them-
always want the one that turns you down.
But even then, he
That's
says,
true.
whatever you're gonna say, whatever you're gonna do, keep it to yourself. He didn't even want to know.
Right.
I know. I think it's because he feels like she's engaged and she's moved on.
Well, and plus she's always like, I'm sorry, but she's always bullshit. It's always,
yeah,
you
she
know.
doesn't really. She does
It's
not
always,
make her
I'll
mind up
take
and
you, but then I
stick
take
with
it back. And it's no.
If they were to get back together, he would have to marry her like quick, fast, so she can not feel so bad
It would have to be
about
one
it.
or the other. They're interchangeable to her, and that's the sad part.
Yeah, I mean, I did not want to see this storyline go on like it is into next season. I thought it was going to go one way or the other right now, and it really didn't.
I think that for the premiere of season 10, because they have been renewed for another season, I think they should totally not touch on Weber and then leave everything else. Touch on Weber and Kellie,
and then just move on.
And move on. And those are the standout things from tonight. Meredith survives and names the baby Bailey, which is so dumb because then George.
Our fans love it.
I hate it. I wanted the kid to be named like Mustafa or like.
No, immediately
Wolfgang.
when you were like, Bailey always saves her. Bailey always saves the day.
Totally.
I was like, oh, she's gonna name the baby.
But
Bailey.
how about this moment? The baby's name is. God.
And it was
That was the cliffhanger of the night.
But did she? Because he put the anesthesia on her.
No, that was oxygen.
Oh,
she was passing out. It was just oxygen.
Yeah, she was passing out.
I don't think they're gonna
a blood loss.
I was like, was that anesthesia? That's
like
some good stuff.
go to sleep.
Count to 10.
It didn't even hit her face, and she's like out. Yeah, it was just air.
Well, the culmination of tonight ends with, of course, the chief, who I'm glad is back to working. Good for you,
He
Chief.
finally
You
worked.
coached Christina and taught her something new, and you finally, made your money today instead of walking around the hospital with your monotone monologues. But
he did have one monotone monologue, though.
And I'm telling you, there's no kind of inflection or anything. It's just like, you suck.
He's a good man.
Yeah, really, really good.
That was good. I like that, Julie.
But it worked.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
And he kind of had a southern
inspired her to
twang.
greatness.
Yes.
But the guy, he saves the technician guy who had a heart attack.
I thought he got electrocuted at first. I thought that because
Me too,
I heard slushing water when he was walking down there. I heard slushing water sound effects, and then I saw like the spark. So I thought immediately that technician was the one that got electrocuted. Then they were like, "Don't die on me, man." Then we go back to that scene, and he just had a heart attack, and he was like, "Sorry for yelling at you." Then from there, he's like, "Just all you have to do is flip the switch immediately."
And then,
Immediately, we all knew.
He's like, "Oh, okay, let me go switch." Like he's like looking around like, "Oh, okay, over there." Like it's like, okay, dude.
It's like it's about to happen.
You're gonna be fried in just a second. But here's the thing that was really upsetting for me.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to see him get electrocuted.
Right?
I think it would have been enjoyable to watch.
You morbid man.
No, because look, it looks stupid when someone's just laying there with CGI on fire. I want his eyes to be open or something that really drove home that Grey's drama.
Well, we don't know because he either passed out or he had a heart attack from being electrocuted.
His clothes were
He was
fried.
definitely electrocuted, but he could have gotten a heart. He's old. He could have had a heart attack from being electrocuted. Who
It just wasn't enough for me.
Part of me wondered how long did they sit in the dark and they didn't have to just because that guy laid down there downstairs with his heart attack.
Oh yeah.
Like could they
for a
have
while,
turned
probably.
the lights on a long time ago and not had to pump their own baby's ventilator?
No, of
Probably,
course.
yeah.
That was the whole like shocker of it. Like, the guy had a heart attack.
It should have
could
been
Christina.
Because with Weber, like you said, you said he's old, right?
Right.
And so it's like, okay, well, he's gonna, fine. Weber because he's not really that dynamic of a personality this season.
That it matters.
Right. But if Christina got electrocuted, it would have been like, no way. Like she would have been like, fro hair.
No, I
looked
feel
really
like it's
good.
way more
that
shocking
freezing
with
hair.
the chief.
I think it would have been too
Nothing's
comical
happened
if
to
it
the
would have been
chief.
Christina. I wouldn't
You would've
believe-
laughed?
I would have laughed. I would not believe that.
How else she get
She
fried?
would not have been down there flipping switches. No.
She's like, I am a world class surgeon.
Yeah.
You flip your own switch.
I am not going to risk my hand to flip that switch.
The only switch I flip is when I walk. Okay.
I'm surprised we haven't seen Chief come in more different situations where his life was at risk because he's never been in one, right?
Well, no, yes. With the shooter, he went in with the shooter and had a pep talk and was like, "Vodka smells nice. What are you gonna do?"
I want to watch that episode again, even though it gives me bad dreams.
And that was a
Don't do
great.
it,
That was
It
a
gives me
great
bad
Grey's
dreams.
finale.
Well, and Bailey, too. I mean, I like that she was forced to have to go and save Meredith's life again. And then when she kind of went wacko on that meds computer, like to get the stuff out.
She got crazy.
Best moment of the night for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was-
Bailey went all brute.
Yeah.
she did.
And she was like,
She's
When they got back to her.
don't just stand there, get the meds.
Oh, wow.
Bailey
She was invigorated. She felt it.
I know.
It's like, let's do this.
It's like she had rejuvenation. Bailey always has great moments in the finale. Every finale they give her great moments. And I mean, she really went out Angela Bassett went exhale on that.
She
You know,
did.
and it was just, and they were looking at her like.
Bailey.
It was almost like a hashtag sexual moment.
I was a little turned on.
Darn, that was not. That was like a
Just
football.
saying.
She
That
let
was
out
like
all
a
of that
linebacker moment.
frustration.
Saying.
But you know what, guys?
fun.
Overall, let's get down to the nitty gritty. The Grey's season 9 finale. How do we truly feel? Let's sum it up. What do you think was powerful? Do we feel like?
It was only super exciting because of our fans, to be honest, because they hyped me up more than anything else.
Any
you know what I mean?
advertisement, any
advertisement, because they were
article.
like, "What can happen?" Da 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 da. They had all these predictions, so I would definitely have to say that that's what made this finale so great. But it was really the leading up from last week's episode that had me like, I can't wait to see what's going to happen next week. This episode was kind of like, okay, and I can't wait for next season. But last week was like, I can't wait for this week. So it was. I give it an 8.
Okay.
I liked it only because it was a lot more. It made you think a lot more than it was kind of action packed, which is what we've gotten in the last few, like with the plane crash and all of that. So I like with this one that it was a little bit more low key and it was a little bit more. It was definitely a lot more emotional, and it made you stop and really pay attention to what was going on in the scene and look around and see what kind of, things that you can find that make sense, and all these little triggers and all of that, and everybody's underlying like kind of scandalousness. And I kind of liked that about it.
I love the fact that Karev and Joe finally got together.
Oh yeah, they're in love.
Yeah, they are in love. They admitted it to each other, beaten up, blah blah blah.
Well, did she say
She's
smile on her face. She knew she loves him back. She wanted him to say it.
She went in for the kiss.
Well, he said I love you.
He met her halfway, but
Why
she was like, yes, tonight's the night. Because we've all been waiting for this kiss, right?
Yes.
And it finally happened. Was it exciting?
Sure. Yeah. Predictable.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm not gonna give it a number rating because
You have to. Did you do one?
I didn't.
Oh, okay, never mind.
I don't want to give it. I mean, yes, I love the Greys that it's explosive. And, well, I guess there was an explosion. But when it comes down to it, like, I do feel like it was a transition from this season to next season episode, which is a little disappointing, but at the same time, every year on a season finale, I'm like, calm down, stop killing people.
Right?
Right.
It's
And
like too
it finally
much.
did.
And then we're disappointed.
Yeah, so it's not exactly what we expected from Grace. Can't say it was a bad episode. I like, my heart isn't racing like it has been in previous years.
Me
But like,
neither.
yeah, so I'm excited for season 10. Nicely done in summary.
Okay. All right. And Legal Eagle Jason Michael Romero, how do you feel about it?
Well, I thought it was pretty good because I've welcomed 2 of my own daughters into this world. So anytime you get to see the birth of a healthy baby, it just makes you happy, and I was happy. I was happy because
Welcome to
baby
the world,
Bailey
baby
was
Bailey.
just
I
great,
know,
and
that's cute.
Yeah, it was adorable.
Yeah, we have a lot of things to look forward to.
There's a
in
lot.
season
We have a
10.
lot to be grateful for in this finale of Grey's Anatomy.
That's true.
Just kidding. All right, you guys. Well, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Listen, I like the death, the gore, the
explosions, the action pack.
like, oh my God, they killed Reed. Stuff. That's what I look for.
Instead of running in slow motion, they should have run faster.
Right,
Like,
and the music. There is just so many elements of Grey's that made Grey's what it is and what it was are starting to disappear. And I think that's just foreshadowing, the end is near.
Right.
The end is near. They're renewed for season 10. No, let's move on to news and gossip. News and gossip. Let's get it.
News and gossip.
News and gossip. Okay, so, all right.
AfterBuzz TV News.
There you go. Well,
We got a new guy in there.
they are renewed for season 10.
Yes.
And
Right.
a couple years ago, they were negotiating for 2 more seasons, 9 and 10. So I don't really think that there's going to be a season 11. And Sarah Ramirez was on Access Hollywood with Billy Bush today, I think, and she was talking about, we don't know about season 11. There is a season 10, so we'll stop right there. I think that the writing, you can tell when the writing's winding down, when they're not putting as much energy into the storylines as they used to, because the storylines, the arcs, and people, I mean, it was just so intense and so deep. Now I feel like a lot of things are very surface and just getting to the punch quicker. They're not drawing things out. So who knows? Thank God for season 10. We have one more season to hang out for, and the DVD set comes out always in September. So be looking out for that. It will be a 7-disc DVD set.
Yeah, I think you can pre-order is what I saw when we were going to commercial.
I have them all.
I saw that yesterday. It's like it's a little creepy, but
it's like
he has them.
$400 worth of Grey's Anatomy.
That's crazy.
Wow.
I will say that, not that I want it to end in season 10, but if next season is the last season, it's not going to be because it's a canceled situation.
No.
It's
Go on,
going
Grace.
to be like an entire decade of a fantastic show.
That's true.
Well,
That's
Billy-
true.
Absolutely.
And she was right when it was like Meredith has 9 lives. Like I kind of think maybe the next one isn't going to be her.
Well, Billy Bush said,
year.
you know, a show like this that's been on for 9, he said, wow, 9 seasons. How does Shonda keep the viewers wanting more? And she said it's just story. She writes a great story. And Grey's, like I said, is a story. It's a book. It's a novel of things to come. There's so many backstories. Like the first season with Meredith's mom having Alzheimer's and the way they tie it, and then the backstory with Chief and Adele, and it's just it's a love story.
I forgot Adele is just gone.
In a hospital, you know. So I think Grey's is definitely
not
about
coming
story.
back.
A lot of people are gone.
Yeah, she's officially done.
Yeah,
Don't worry
yeah,
about
yeah,
it.
she
I mean,
died.
she's gonna be Danny come back as a ghost.
That could happen.
Like Richard.
That's a stretch. No, thank you.
And I don't think we need to do predictions. I think for me, I don't have any predictions for season 10 because
I don't. The one thing that I think is, I think that you guys are right. I think it's kind of winding down, and I think what we saw, at least for me, from this episode, was a kind of this is me, this is who I am with these characters, and how much more can they grow with this original cat? Because it's like Christina. You knew this is what I am. You want kids. I don't. This has always been our thing. This is who I am. This is what I do. It's already happened. And then we see the kind of confrontation with Kellie in Arizona, and she finally brings everything to light of what she's so angry about. And then that's when she comes up with, well, I guess I lost you. You're not the same person anymore. And I think it was kind of a lot of realizations that way. Like, this is me, and this is it.
Right.
So what are we going to do now?
Well,
and even with Karev, this is what I do. This is what I always do with these women. And then he finally comes to terms and opens up. And, you know, Arizona gives him that advice, too. Don't always go with the bad. You know, take credit for the good, too.
Sure.
I have one more thing, too.
I have a prediction, too.
Go.
You want to go first?
Well, one of our fans is trying to call in, but let's continue the conversation on Twitter like they've been doing, because I know everyone wants to keep talking about it, so we'll definitely continue talking about it.
That's what I was going to predict. Season 10, the 4 of us hosting this AfterBuzz show, and all of you guys at home tuning in.
Yes, for sure.
Miss you over the summer.
I know.
You guys, it's been a great
and each
season.
other.
And thanks for tweeting and trying to call in, and all of our guests that we had this season. That
Sarah,
was great.
Jerica Hinton, thank you guys.
I can't believe I met you guys this year on this show.
Yeah, it's like we're best.
very fun. Very
You know what?
fantastic.
I can't wait for next season.
It's gonna be great.
Excited.
It's gonna be great. Well, you guys, there you have it. The season finale of Grey's Anatomy, season 9. Such a pleasure hosting with you guys this season. Like you said, we'll see you back in September. Until then, I am Jason J. Carter. You can find me on Twitter at JJCForever, on Facebook at Jason J. Carter, and the Jason J. Carter fan page. It's been a pleasure. I'll see you guys online.
I'm Julie Partin, and you can find me on Twitter at JULIEPARTIN. I'll miss you over the summer.
Bam! And I'm Starr RR. You can find me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and all that good stuff at StarrSession. And don't forget to follow all my other web shows that I do.
And you can follow me at Kellie with an IE 079 on Twitter and Instagram.
Bye, guys. Have a great one.
Bye.
We'll miss you.
See you in the fall.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.